In 1980, Zimbabwe embarked on a new journey as an independent nation under the leadership of its independence hero, Robert Mugabe. Freed from colonial rule, the people of Zimbabwe were filled with joy and hope. Mugabe promised prosperity and equality to his people as he took his first steps as a leader. However, behind this hope loomed the shadows of political conflict and power struggles. In his early years, Mugabe sought to improve the lives of his people by advancing education and healthcare systems. New schools and hospitals were built, literacy rates dropped, and the public looked forward to a brighter future. Yet, behind these advancements, tensions with opposition parties deepened. These political tensions spurred Mugabe's desire to consolidate power, leading ultimately to a path of dictatorship to resolve conflicts through violence. In 1983, the Gukurahundi massacres in Matabeleland marked the beginning of Mugabe's regime turning violent. In this region, where the opposition enjoyed strong support, the military massacred tens of thousands of civilians, instilling terror. According to survivors, the military burned villages and executed residents indiscriminately. These massacres demonstrated Mugabe's willingness to sacrifice anything to maintain power. While the international community strongly condemned these actions, Mugabe justified them as unavoidable measures for national security. Mugabe funneled excessive funds into military spending to solidify his dictatorship. Zimbabwe faced inevitable isolation from the international community, leading to a decline in aid and investment. Furthermore, drought struck, devastating Zimbabwe's agriculture-based economy. The country was forced to accept structural adjustment programs from the IMF and World Bank. However, poor policy design and internal factors in Zimbabwe caused these programs to fail. To address the economic crisis and deflect political criticism, Mugabe's regime implemented nationalist economic reforms, including land reform and the nationalization of manufacturing and mining sectors. In the early 2000s, agricultural reforms began with the seizure of land from white farmers for redistribution to black farmers. However, lack of preparation and technical skills led to a steep decline in agricultural production. Zimbabwe faced food shortages and international sanctions. Once known as Africa's breadbasket, Zimbabwe became a nation reliant on food aid. Efforts to overcome the failure of agricultural reforms through nationalizing manufacturing and mining also proved ineffective. The state-owned factories and mines were inefficiently operated, and resource revenues were diverted for the private gains of those in power. As a result, Zimbabwe's economy deteriorated rapidly, and the people became increasingly impoverished. In the late 2000s, the government recklessly printed money to cover fiscal deficits, leading to skyrocketing prices. People could no longer afford even basic necessities. Hyperinflation plunged Zimbabwe into economic ruin. With billions of Zimbabwean dollars required for a loaf of bread, citizens struggled for survival. While the people suffered, Mugabe and his family lived in luxury. His wife Grace, known for her extravagant shopping sprees, earned the nickname Gucci Grace, inciting public outrage. In 2017, the military decided to oust Mugabe, bringing his regime to an end. However, this decision was driven not by calls for democracy or social justice, but by internal opposition to Mugabe's plan to appoint his wife Grace as his successor. After negotiations, Mugabe resigned, and power shifted to the military. As part of the agreement for his resignation, Mugabe was granted full immunity and protection of his private property, living a luxurious life until his death at age 95. The story of Robert Mugabe vividly illustrates how dictatorship and abuse of power can lead a nation to ruin. This is not a problem unique to Zimbabwe, but a warning of the risks that can emerge anywhere in the world. Democracy provides a foundation for coexistence and peaceful conflict resolution through diverse opinions. The privatization of power and reliance on force divide society and bring about tragedy. Thus, It is crucial to check dictatorship and abuse of power and establish a healthy culture of discussion that embraces and respects differing opinions. Such efforts are the cornerstone of strengthening democracy and building a fair and just society.